Hi guys, here is Ana Paula again. I hope you are all well, safe, healthy, and also your families. And I want to talk to you today a little bit about Mother's Day. Um, and I want to have an honest conversation, or at least to try to have one, and a biblical conversation about Mother's Day. And why is that? I particularly have a great mom, but I know many people don't. And I know many people at this time of the year struggle a little bit because all the ads on TV and people around are talking how great moms are and about moms are almost perfect people. And maybe they struggle because they didn't have or they don't have this experience. They have complicated relationships with their moms, and maybe their moms wronged them, or maybe in a great way, maybe not in such a great way, but anyway, a lot of people have issues with that. I know people, and I don't know that much people, but I know people, for instance, that I know a guy that his mom abandoned him just after he was born. He's 19 now, and there's really not any happy ending for that. She didn't never came up, never showed up. She only abandoned him into pretty much the doorstep of the grandmother, the mother of his father. And I know another person, a person close to me, that her mother, it's almost 40 years now she is. And her mother, since he was a little kid, constantly said to her, and keeps saying, to be very honest with you, that she is the source of all her problems, and that she would have done best to had an abortion, and that she would prefer to see her dad. Things like that, very, very tough things to hear. And so, as I know that maybe some of you, or hopefully none of you, but maybe someone that you know have this kind of experience, I want to go through this today a little bit, so we can think and go to the Bible and say and see what the Bible has to say to us, or to someone in these circumstances, these tough circumstances. And if you don't have this kind of situation in your life, it's interesting also for you, so you don't take for granted what you have. Maybe you should be more thankful to God and to your mom. So the first thing that we have very clear from the Bible is that, well, moms and dads and anyone, but moms are the topic today. They are not perfect. They are human beings, sinful human beings, just as we are. And the great thing is that the Bible is pretty honest about that. So the Bible is very honest about reality. And so this is the case with moms. And so let's see your knowledge on that. So grab a paper, stop a little bit the video, grab a paper, and see if you can guess who these moms are. They are all in the Bible. So they are free moms here, complicated people, let's say. The first one did the following. So I cheated, the person is talking, okay? I cheated my husband and one of my sons to help another son who was my favorite. What about that? Who is this person? Do you know? Take a note. At the end, I'm going to share the answers with you so you can check your knowledge. Second person, second mom. I killed my own relatives, including children and grandchildren, so I could be the queen. Great. How is that for a Mother's Day ad? Third, I exposed my daughter in a party and used her to get someone killed. So this is another mom. Can you guess who are these three moms? So, of course, there are also great examples. So, try to guess who are these three. I challenged the government rule to save my son's life. So, this is another mom the Bible talks about. Who is this one? Can you remember? Second, another mom, another great mom. I was able, together with my mother, to raise my son as a man of God, even though my husband was not a Christian. So it's a mom that had a son. She was able to raise him as a man of God, to train him, to lead him to Jesus, even though her husband was not a Christian. Third, a third mom. I was not only a good mother of my own children, but also a judge of all God's people. Who is this one? This third one. So take notes. At the end, we are going to share the answers so you can check if you got it right. Okay, the first thing the Bible tells us and shows us very honestly is that moms are sinful. Moms are not perfect. Moms are human beings, sinful just as we are. And this can be a tough reality to absorb, to deal with. But it's important that we realize that we all are sinful people. We all need God's grace and forgiveness. Second thing that the Bible says, and very important, God's love is perfect and unfailing, even when our mom has failed us. This is the first aspect of this second point, because many times when people have a very difficult experience with their moms, they kind of feel that they are unworthy. Not even my mom cares for me or has this kind of unconditional love that we would expect a mom to have. And so people can feel very unworthy in life because of that. This can bring a lot of trouble for them, for their relationships. And what the Bible is saying is that, your mom may have failed you, but God will never fail you. God's love is unconditional, is perfect. His love does not depend on what you do, on your performance. God simply loves you, and He loves you in an unconditional way. And more than that, God cares particularly to this. He cares and He shows particular care for these people that have these kind of struggles. You can see the Bible has verses that deal in a very specific way with these situations. So if you go to Psalms 27:10, look what God is saying. Though my father and mother forsake me, even though this may happen, and so the Bible is kind of assuming that this eventually may happen, the Lord will receive me. So even if my earthly parents fail me, the Lord will receive and will care for me. Another verse, Isaiah 49:15. Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, God is saying, I will not forget you. So this, God, it's interesting because there are, of course, many general verses talking about God's love for us, but the Bible has these messages for people that may have suffered or maybe are suffering in this context because of some wrongdoings of their mothers or fathers. And also God says that He will be the father of those who are orphans. And sometimes people are not orphans in a technical way because their parents are alive, but they are orphans in the sense that their parents do not really care that much for them. And so God is addressing these people, addressing these hurt, this wound, this pain, and saying that I love you in an unfailing, in a complete, in an unconditional way. So God's love will not make this wound disappear, but it can comfort us. It can bring comfort and joy and peace, and in this sense of feeling safe, because the God, the Almighty of the universe, He loves us. He loves me, even if I have a struggling relationship with my mom. But there is a third thing that the Bible tells us. We need to forgive. We need to forgive. Okay, you may say, let's go to the complicated. So far, so good, but now we need to do stuff. Yeah, we need to do stuff. So we need to forgive our moms or dads for what they have done wrong. And just remember what the Bible tells us about that. To forgive is not to pretend that the wrong thing was not wrong, the wrong thing was wrong. To forgive is an act of humbling before God. It's a decision to step out of the judge position. So when we don't forgive people, we are in the judge position against that person that has wronged us. To forgive is to step down this judge position, to say, I am also a sinful person. I am also a sinful human being, and I am before you, God. You are the judge. I have been wronged, but I also do wrong stuff, and I need your forgiveness. And so I forgive this person because her wrongdoing, his wrongdoing is before you. Only you can be the judge. I am in the same position that they are, because I am sinful also, and I have been forgiven for you. You have forgiven me, and I need forgiveness, and so I can't be in the judge position. So this is forgiveness, and we need to forgive, and we need to forgive our moms. So we need to acknowledge the wrongdoings and to forgive before God. So to pray, to go to God and pray as hard as this can be. And to forgive and to say this, God, this was wrong, but you are the judge. I'm only another sinful person, and I trust you. I trust that you are caring for me, and so I put on your feet this wrongdoing. I'm leaving it there. I'm not in the judge position anymore. I care. I trust that you are going to care, that you are going to deal with this. So this is a very important step to do, because the Bible is very clear on that. If we don't forgive people, including our parents, God is not going to forgive us. And we need God's forgiveness every day. So we need to clean our hearts before God and forgive them. And there is another four things. You need, okay, now you're thinking, I knew it, we would get to the honor thing. Yeah, we can't pick and choose what we want from the Bible. We have to have it all. And so the Bible tells us to honor our parents. Look, the Bible does not say honor the ones who deserve honor. The Bible is very clear and not conditional at all. So we are supposed to honor our parents, notwithstanding their behavior. So what does that mean in a very practical way? How can we honor? It's easy to honor and to be thankful when we have great parents, and we must do it, and we must appreciate them as much as we can. But when we have difficult parents, when we have difficult mothers, this can be a little harder. So I have some ideas to share with you so you can challenge yourself. So three 3 ideas for you to honor your mom. First, there are some good things. There are some, maybe few, I don't know, but there are some. So appreciate those good things. Tell her that you appreciate the good things. Okay? Maybe you are thinking, oh my goodness, this is impossible. This is so uncomfortable. You know, this is good to be challenged, to go out of our comfort zone, because only when we go out of our comfort zone and we are challenged by God and by the Bible to trust Him, to trust God, and to do what He's telling us to do, even though we don't feel like doing, that we can grow. We can grow in trust. We can grow in a relationship with God, because this is a relationship with God before anything else, because we are doing something we may not want to do, to praise God, to obey God. So first idea, think about something that is good and appreciate it. Second, choose to speak kindly. Choose not to speak harshly towards your mom, or to react in a bad way. You can choose to speak kindly. And if you are not able at one particular moment, you can always stay silent, and then you can choose to speak silently. You can offer God as a praise to Him, as an offering, this decision to treat your mom and your parents in a kind way. Third, do not return evil with evil. Return evil with goodness. And again, this is pretty much about our relationship with God. It's an offering that we do, and we decide to offer God this way of praise. And you know, how can we do that? When we remember all God's love for us, on us, we have so much love from God. We are overflowing with God, with love from God. And so we can give freely. We don't need to be limiting how much love we are going to show to people, because we have enough. We have more than enough, and God's love is overflowing us every day, so we can share freely, generously with other people, including our parents. So we can do goodness even if we are treated in a bad and an evil way. So finally, maybe you are listening to this, you are watching this, and you say, my goodness, that's tough. My mom is great. So you should appreciate her. You should be very thankful to God. Sometimes we take a lot for granted from our families, our relationships. And we must know that many people do not have the healthy relationships, loving, caring parents, and so we must be thankful, and we should appreciate more our parents if we are not in these circumstances. So I hope this helped you if you have a struggling relationship, or maybe you know someone that has, and you may help him or her to deal. So remember, moms are sinful as us, as everybody else, but God's love is much bigger and is able to comfort us even when we have this wound in our hearts from a difficult relationship with our parents. Thirdly, we need to forgive them as anybody else that has wronged us. And fourth, we need to honor our parents, our moms, even if they don't deserve honor. That's not the point. The Bible does not make this kind of thing conditional. Okay, so happy Mother's Day to your mom, and that you may be challenged by God and by the Bible to, even if your mom is complicated, that you may honor her in this Mother's Day, and you may offer this honor to God as an offering to God. Okay, thank you. Oh, oops. I also forgot the answers. Let's see if you guys got it right. Okay, so the first thing, the complicated moms. The first one, the one that cheated her husband and her other son, was Rebecca. Okay, so this is in Genesis 27. This is the story that she covered Jacob in cheap skin so that he would look like or feel like, not really look like his brother. And so Isaac mistook him for his brother and blessed him. You guys know the story. Go check Genesis 27. The second mom, the one who killed her children and grandchildren, is this Atalia. This is told in 2 Kings 11. So she was the mother of the king. The king was murdered, and so she decided to kill all the others in the family so that she could be the queen. And the third complicated man was Herodias. I don't know how to pronounce this. So this is recorded in Mark 6, 21 to 29. The story has to do with the death of John the Baptist. Maybe you remember. So this woman sent her daughter to dance in a party before King Herod, and probably not a child kind of dance, probably a sexy dance. And then the King Herod was so happy that he offered her, the girl, whatever she wanted. And so she went back to her mom, and her mom said, ask for the head of John the Baptist. And finally, King Herod did what she asked for. So he sent for John Baptist to be murdered and to be beheaded, and his head was given to the girl, and the girl gave it back to her mom. So the third, the good ones, the good moms, the mom that challenged government rules was Moses' mother. You probably remember this one, Exodus 2. Her name was Jochebed. The second mom, the mom that was able to raise her son and as a man of God, was Eunice. This is mentioned in 2 Timothy 1, 1 to 5. Paul is writing this letter to Timothy and saying about praising his mom and also his grandmother. And we know that his father was not a Christian because he is mentioned as a Greek. And so she had to do the job alone, and she did a great job. And the third good mom was Deborah. So Deborah is mentioned as a woman that was a great mom in Judges 4 and 5, and also she was a judge to all the people of Israel. So she was a kind of governor and someone who judged the people and so guided the people, and she also led them in some battles. So these two chapters tell the story of Deborah. I hope this was helpful to you. God bless you and your families and your week. Bye-bye.